You know, the 10 Commandments were already in the schools before they passed legislation to get rid of it.
It wasn't posted.
No, it was freedom of religion, where you would do the Pledge of Allegiance, the Pledge of Allegiance, and God We Trust. And a part of the curriculum was again, I went to a parochial school, but I heard this in public school, that Christianity was allowed in there. And then this woman came, no disrespect, and took it out. Church and state, separation of church and state.
Mm.
And that's how we got in it, not to cut you off, not to cut your wisdom off, but because of that, that's how we got into this chaos now. Because now there's no acknowledgement of a higher being, someone outside of us that helped keep us,
in line. Yeah.
Right. Shelly, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I'm just because Kyle had brought it up, and I was just saying, like, it baffles me, with the whole election thing. Like, I actually enjoyed it because it required us. I was in the 8th grade, I think it was. We had to learn about the candidates, and then they allowed for us to, vote in school. And then the day of the election, we watched, because we were in school on that day. We got to watch the election results and see if what we came up with as a school reflected what, and we had would about it. It was like, when I think about it, it was such excellent education, because that's how I got vested. And I remember my mom would bring me into the voting poll and allow for me to click the little clicker. Now, my daughter did something that was trifling this year, but we're going to talk about it. But anyway, they don't allow for kids to do that as much, right? So again, we're not taking the time to really expose our kids to the practice of voting. We're not taking the time to explain to our kids, to Kyle, you saying they want to separate it. And to some degree, I do, religion should be separated. And then there's some degree that I feel like the structure of religion should be in the schools, but that's a different podcast for a different day. But when it comes to politics, right, and especially for middle school, now that I'm saying what I said, in the next 8 years, the kids that are in middle school, as we know it today, are going to be the next voting party. And if we don't teach them, regardless of what their political views are, right? Regardless of if they're coming from a household that is Republican, Independent, or Democrat, if we don't teach these young people now how to vote and how voting works from local to state to national, imagine what else we're going to be involved in.
Exactly.
Compared to what we're involved in now.
Exactly. And I think that comes from us educating ourselves so we can educate our children. Coming from an educator perspective, it's like, you can't educate someone when you don't know yourself. So it's just like, and that's the onus upon us. So we have to do a little more work. It takes work, and we have to really realize that. But it doesn't take as much work as us working together.
Yeah.
Because what I don't know, Shelly, and then what I don't know, Kayode, So it's just like, okay, so it's going to take work, but it's not as much work as we may think it's going to take, because we don't have to start from zero. Like, we're not starting from
but
zero.
We do need organizations to do it.
We do need organizations. And that's why I want to add on to what Kayode is saying. Join a local organization, y'all. Like, you don't have to do this alone. There's people already doing this work. And that doesn't mean you have to fully agree with the organization. I say, if you agree with the organization at least 75%, join it. 75%, join it.